Go first team. It's going to be RSG Slate Singapore, the first team drawn in to the knockout stage brackets.
All right, so starting now, Miracle will proceed to seed number 2. So potentially the team, they'll be going up against RSG Slate Singapore. And it is going to be Burnex Flash.
LaFell's going to draw the second one. Now there's a little bit of pressure. Yeah, really. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls, please. Blacklist International. Now it gets tough for me, bro. Oh, I don't want to do this. You want to swap again?
No, fam. I'm good. I drew Blacklist. My hand is
Vinky. What's up, Vinky?
Seed number 2. As long as it's not Koda, then we should be in business here.
You see, I gotta put my camera in first.
So now,
you see,
it is, dude. I just said it. I'm so sorry, Toda, but Toda has to be moved to the third one. So let's draw seat number 2.
My camera.
Yeah,
no.
Seat 2 to see who's going up against Blacklist. Right now, reveal it to us. It is going to be Fireflux Impunity. So at this point, it's very clear-ish who is gonna go where.
Oh yeah.
Wait. We only have Onyx and Echo left.
Yes. Who's Todak gonna get, ladies and gentlemen? LaFell,
Hold on.
the fate is on your hands, and it is Echo Philippines who will be going up against Todak. So the last match, we know who's it gonna be, but we're already gonna see. Let's see, LaFell.
Hey, Biko.
Wow,
Hey, Ria.
It's Onyx from Indonesia.
Abby.
What a surprise! Who would have ever thunk?
Nelski. Hey, Nelski. Hey,
The
Nels.
one is going up against Onyx. It is going to be Evo's Legend. So a repeat of MPLID.
Hey, Abby.
Either way, that is
I think
it
Abby
from
watched
us.
Mobile
My name is
Legends.
LaFell.
My name is Mirko.
We will see you guys in the knockout stages. And again, we're very
Thank
sorry.
you, Nelski. Hey, Biko. Hey, Michelle.
And that is the bracket, but today's schedule, we will be looking out for the teams that could possibly be going home. This is RSG, Slate SG versus Burn X Flashes as our very first BO5.
Hey, Michelle, I miss
five,
you.
A true test of
Kamusta
skill.
ka?
And immediately after, it's going to be Blacklist International versus FIMP, Fireflux Impunity, all the way from
Hey,
Turkey.
Abby. Hey, gang.
Now, RSG's
Y'all can
games
connect and y'all
is
can
going
do
to be the
whatever
very
y'all
first
wanna
one.
do.
And I think right off the bat, starting out the knockout stage, we already have quite a banger. And I'm pretty much expecting to see a complete 5-game series, and we all could see that both Burnex Flash, the manager, as well as RSG manager, they were pretty happy about this draw.
Yeah, you know what? Burnex Flash and RSG.
I
would say
miss you,
they're-
Michelle.
Exceeded my own expectation.
I
In
almost
fact,
made it to your
when
live
we had
stream.
a,
Wait, no,
an
I
internal,
did.
Like,
I made-
power
I liked
ranking,
and shared
I
your
voted
live
for
stream.
both
I
of these
made
teams
it.
to not get into the playoffs. In fact, because of
Nelski,
how
shout out.
they
Hey,
performed
Nels.
in their own qualifier. Like, for example, the the MPL cage, and of course the qualifiers for Singapore. So you can see that I'm very excited to see them because now they will show why my expectations were really low, but now they have exceeded it, right?
Not just the fact that they have both grown in very different directions, with Burnex Flash maintaining the roster, coming in from M4, as compared to RSGSG, who has evolved so much. They've made new stars in their imports, in Oki, and a personal favorite of mine, the cute one, Lucian Cutie.
Well, I gotta have to say, right, a lot of people, talents, as well as casters, right, we don't really quite understand, or perhaps not a lot of people, believe in the unorthodox picks of Khalid as well as Badang, despite it coming out so many times in the MPL SG. However, once we have seen these two heroes picked and played in MSC, it's starting to get a little bit more interesting, right? We don't really see that internationally, but here we go. Diablo is just pulling it off.
I think that's just the truth of the meta evolving here at MSC. Usually when we get to an M series, as we get closer to the eliminations or even playoffs as we like to call it, that's when we see a very clear direction of how everybody wants to play.
Princess!
It's a quest
Hey, Princess,
for
what time
glory.
is it
The
right now in the
local
Philippines?
heroes
It's 2
versus
in the
the
afternoon, probably.
Singaporean rulers. Now, I don't know about you guys, but personally for me, both are very near and dear to my heart. The brackets, and especially what you saw in the draw, may have done them a little dirty. I would have liked to see them make it farther into the tournament, but only one of these teams will make it out alive.
Well, it's so sad to know that will happen, but then again, they had a group stage to kind of fix whatever they had to do, right? It's not completely.
Perhaps.
It's not completely
Streamlabs, what the
Mirko's
hell
in
you
the first
doing?
fault, I would say.
It
No?
absolutely isn't.
Let's just put it that way.
Oh, that's
It is
how I
their
gotta
fault.
check it?
No, it is not their fault. It was they had all the opportunities. But with that being said,
Hey,
let's jump
Princess.
into these games as these teams
just
are going to be
fall back.
walking out onto the stage to officiate the first series of MSC 2023 knockout stage. We have our marshals, Rith, Shadow, Jot, and
We be
Alex
up all
here to
night.
facilitate the games. They are here to ensure fair play and esports integrity.
Hey, this is good. Oh, this is perfect. This is
First,
perfect.
we have the Singaporean Overlords marching forward against a sea of Cambodian fans. Here comes RSG Slate Singapore!
The lineup displayed polished gameplay while being creative with the draft and rotations.
They are determined to best their own international tournament results and make
What's
it
up,
to the last
Trovo?
4.
They are
Bro,
a
we locked in. What's
real
up, Chris?
contender with their 2 Indonesian imports and, of course, Coach Kuja.
What's up, Hush? Hush? Is Hush still up? What's up,
The
Hush?
whole hall cheering for them. It's the Khmer Warriors, the pride of the nation, Burn X Flash!
The roster showed the world that
Hi,
they
Princess.
have improved so much since M4.
I miss
Though
you,
still maintaining the
Princess.
signature Cambodian aggression, that their gameplay has matured tremendously.
We're looking at that
This shit
whole
gonna be like
buff.
7 hours.
We need to see the MPLKH back-to-back champions pounce
About to see
and move
that.
on to the next round.
Now, we introduce the coaching staffs of both teams, Coach Simic and SkyZ as analysts and coach, followed by Coach Kuja holding the fort by himself alongside our head marshal to referee this match.
As a Malaysian, Gideon, do you think Coach Kuja has this all figured out? Because he has no analyst by his side. It's a 2v1 when you're talking about coaching staff.
It's not just him alone.
Hi,
These are three
Princess. I miss
nationalities
you.
in one powerhouse team that has evolved them to this next level.
Whatever that they did before and whatever that they are going to do in MSC is going to be completely different. They have ideas from Indonesian side, from Malaysian side, and even
hungry
in
as hell.
Singapore side. So with Oki and Blue Security in RSG's lineup,
Oh my
Bray,
God, man.
Diablo, and Roy has forged
Fuck.
themselves to turn the game around in order to favor Oki and Blue Security.
And surely we put the spotlight on Oki and Lucian, right? But I think that Diablo, being the fact that he is like the stalwart for RSG, the representative, he's the captain, right? He's leading this team. And I would say I'm very impressed on what he did. Even without the signature picks, he's actually playing so well.
The Handsome Devil has been in
The Handsome
MPLSG
Devil.
since its inception, since its birth in early 2021.
King FaZe.
Let's bring up their competitors here. If you didn't hear that crowd just now, you'll hear them very, very soon with each and every play. It's Burn X Flash with Donut, Jimma, ATM, CCAT, and D7.
Naruto,
Donut
Lucky,
and
Goku,
D7
change the
have
name, please.
performed tremendously, notably when it comes down to Donut Leslie as well as D7's wonderful Franco performance against OP.
Yeah, you know, I can talk all day about Donut, but of course, as a Filipino, yeah, but I want to feature ATM as well because this is not the ATM that we saw in the previous international tournaments. It was a joke even, right? They cashed out when they kill ATM, but not today, not this tournament.
Well, it's time to hear from the team itself. We got some insider information that we would like to show with you guys.
I feel excited because we gonna face the strongest team from Cambodia, from Indonesia.
Onyx from Cambodia.
Yo, Kali
Now they
King.
are in Cambodia.
Keep the spirit burning, and the broad lights flashing through. The whole team is.
Kali King, I gotta add you on Instagram,
Although
bro.
we did try our best to win, but it's fine, it's okay. It's good to experience that we fought Onyx Indo and GG. Yeah.
Princess, hi Guapa.
មូលហេតុដែលពួកយើងចង់ revenge ទៅ team outplay ពីព្រោះការព្រឹត្តិការណ៍ M4 ពួកយើងបានចាញ់ទៅលើ team គាត់ដែលយើងគិតពេលនោះយើងគិតថា team នេះអាចនឹងបដូរគាត់បានតែនៅពេលដែលយើងប៉ះគ្នារវាង play off បើជា team គាត់បដូរ team យើងវិញខ្ញុំចង់ផ្ដាំទៅហ៊ុនវិញនេះគឺជាទឹកដីរបស់ពួកយើងចាំមើលថាការប្រកួតក្នុងមុខអ្នកណាជាអ្នកដំណើរបាន
Keep
King Tokyo.
We will train more harder.
What's up, Tokyo?
For later on.
I hope we have a good fight.
Good luck, and we will ban your hero Diablo.
What's up, Tokyo, bro? Tell you right now, I'm hungry as hell. Hungry as shit.
We got to talk about Jima here. He's becoming his own man, a superstar in his own right, willing to play with the camera. He's quite the personality as well as a supreme jungler.
Earlier this week, he addressed NA's marquee jungler, Zayn. He hoped that Zayn would make it through, but after eliminating OP,
What's cracking, Cali King? I got an edge on Instagram, bro.
His TikTok showcase. Let's just put it
got
out
an edge
there.
on Twitter or
He's
something,
got
Cali
a
King.
superstar vibe. He just put himself out there after playing what he's got. I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense too, but we got to focus on the players here. We're talking about the gold laners, Oki, and as well as Donut, two import players from both of these teams. But looking at the internal rankings, do you agree with this, Wolf?
Well, yeah, you know, I think this is fairly accurate, at least for me. We know that Benny and CW are way up there, but the fact that Oki and Donut have established themselves as great gold laners during the group stages, like super notable about Oki, the way that he was able to carry his team in specific games, and that's also true with Donut. The Leslie play that you saw, and now he's what, top 1 global when it comes to utilizing the Leslie. Like, who does that? Who plays a lot of Leslie in ranked games?
Tokyo Dolphin, good to see you.
It's painful.
King
It's
Merritt.
painfully long because you have to play so many
GRG
games.
Esports,
Let's put a big magnifying glass on BurnX Flash's Donuts here. And Leo, you know this man very, very well. Coming all the way from the Philippines as well. Playing for Next Play Evoz and now doing so well in BurnX Flash.
It's no secret, I have rapped for this young man, Mario Stan, and after his debut season, he's become not only an MPLKH champion, but as well the Grand Finals MVP. And with that, you can see here his stats, you can see what hero he likes to play. Again, very small sample size, but we can hear from the young man himself here. He says, I think our bonding is good. I think we can make it the top 1, and we will do our best to get to top 1 because we really do want to win. We really want to be the champions of MSC, and that'll boost our confidence. That's what's going to take us to the top.
I love this quote. What I love about it the most is the fact that he understands that there is still the World Tournament at the end of the year. Getting closer to that top 1 is just a step here at MSC.
The stepping stone is ultimately going to be super important, build their confidence, and from this experience in MSC, I wouldn't be too surprised that the home crowd cheering out for them, BurnX Flash would have so big of a buff.
Isn't this an interesting juxtaposition between two imports, right? Oki into Singapore and Donut into Cambodia. They both came in and said, you know what, look at me. Look at me. I'm the MVP now. This is not my house, but I'm here.
I totally understand because the way that you look at these guys and how they play the gold lane, you go for a traditional MOBA marksman wherein you look there, literally carry the game. You farm it, then you carry the game. A traditional, but it works.
We're talking about the gold lane. Generally, a lot of that win condition lies onto Oki as well as Donut. But BurnX Flash themselves, they do say that they would want to ban out heroes onto Diablo. So I think that, you know, that could be some kind of a bait coming from RSG.
It could be. I mean, they might have known what the flow schedule is going to be, but I don't know about you, Leo. Where are your predictions lying? Because I'm going with RSG.
Given the reception here at Main Chai A on 3, I'm for BurnX Flash.
Wait, hold on. Wolf, what is your prediction right now?
Yes.
Abstract?
No.
Interesting. A yes and a no. Wolf potentially might be cursing. I'm guessing that even Abstract is leaning to not even try and predict for RSG. What's going on here, Leo?
Something tells me Abstract also heard the reception here, and he was worried. Where's my passport? Am I going to get home?
By the way, I received a call after M4 that I am no longer allowed to make predictions. I am physically not allowed. I got a memo.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you're physically not allowed. I tried to not let you make it here today. Last 2 days ago, we kept you in the layover in Malaysia, but I think it's time to get into this, seeing how these players are warming up, preparing into these games. Let's keep in mind that the Asus Republic of Gamers, or or ROG is the official gaming phone partner of MSC 2023. The ROG Phone 7 comes with the Aero Active Cooler 7 that provides you with a portable 2.1 sound system, and alongside the spectacular 165Hz AMOLED display, you can play games like you've never before. And check out how Diablo is utilizing the ROG 7 to do his warm-ups.
Hi, Mitch.
Okay. You could sworn those fist cracks come out in the frame earlier.
Princess,
Given
let's go,
that
Princess.
huge screen.
Let's be honest here. Once you go 165 Hz, you never go back.
It's hard. It's hard to go back. I can agree with you
Oh,
on that
JR,
one, because
let's go.
Ever since I've
Let's
utilized
go,
this
King
one,
JR.
I've been sneakily using it. Leo's one while he's
gotta
been
put you on the
sleeping. Man, I feel that I play better.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I wake up with 5%
put you on
left.
the list,
And that's after Gideon has been playing all night. So y'all see that 6,000.
All my
mAh
members feel
battery
free to
coming into
connect to
play.
each other. We just chilling out.
Very
hanging
well
out.
done. You know, I'm gonna
Watching
steal that
Mobile
afterwards.
Legends
Can I
and
steal that after MSC? Is it actually nice to actually
Connect to my
I don't
brother
give you
JR.
permission. I don't give you full permission. You do what you want to do.
Okay.
We won't know how that's gonna go, but this time round, for MSC's very first best of 5, it is gonna be RSG versus Burn X Flash. Let's jump into the draft.
Wow, Atlas just literally pulled that through. Now, we're talking about important heroes for both teams, and that's all starts with a ban. I don't think that, but wow! I was about to say that the Badang might not be first ban, but literally they first ban it.
Thank you,
Respect
JR.
ban from both sides. RSG respect
All my
the
members
Shamar.
feel free to
In the
connect to
meantime,
each other.
Burn X Flash respecting on the Diablo.
Okay, here's what it is, right? Coach Mitch said it. He said it in the video. Diablo, we're gonna ban your heroes, and here he's being a man of his word.
I mean, even though we said that, yes, he is going to ban his heroes, and even the Handsome Devil just giving us a quick little Rizzy smile there, capturing hearts and minds across the world. RSG is also respecting Chima on this Lancelot, just a secure, safe pick.
Yeah, definitely. We know that RSG, they play a traditional marksman, right? You can see from Oki. So you want to ban out heroes that will be a problem for the marksman.
Baby
And my
Mitch,
oh my,
I miss you,
respect
Mitch.
is off the charts. You know what
Oh,
happens now
Renee.
that you ban out both
Let's
Diablo's
go.
heroes, like signature
JR,
heroes. It opens
Siklat,
up a lot,
Renee,
like
I'ma
Joy,
put y'all on the
Arlen,
list, okay?
your Valentina, your
I'ma give you
typical
more
bans.
bananas,
One
my
might
members.
be even open for
All my
RSG.
members feel free to connect
Burn
to
X
each other.
Flash
Y'all
have to
can
tread
act crazy.
carefully. Right
Y'all can act
now,
wild
the
I
two
agree.
tonight.
signature picks
I agree.
being
Just hanging
banned
out.
out.
Thank you,
Diablo's
Renee.
hero is
My
so
Nene,
deep
shout out.
that he only chose a show
Putting you on my
these
list,
two.
guys.
Diablo Iceberg.
Yeah.
The Diablo Iceberg.
Definitely. I think
El Diablo.
there was an interview with Diablo that they wanted the teams to specifically ban out Diablo's heroes because he wants to play more heroes. So I wonder what he still has got his bag of tricks.
I do know there's quite a couple, right? Throughout the past few seasons, even though, you know, it may have moved out of meta to a certain extent.
JR, Renee, thank you so much.
Paquito, Yuzhong not really so much anymore, but he could definitely play that.
Yeah.
Uranus is starting to see a comeback, so we could very likely see Uranus.
Well, let's not forget about Benedetta, my personal
right,
favorite
of course.
as well.
Velvet.
I always like a good Benedetta player, but as Wolf mentioned, yeah, there's actually a lot of picks that
right.
are up in the air. Diablo banned. It's a dapper disguise as Diablo only played non-meta heroes in Badang and Khalid so far.
Working,
both
yeah,
of which
work,
Burn X Flash
work busy
has banned.
long.
Very quickly. That means that the joy will be opened up.
It's
With
fine,
the
it's
ban of the
fine,
Haja,
Renee.
I think
Love
it
you,
merits
Renee.
you know, RSG is like they're gonna be rewarded to pick up the joy right now. They only will have to think about the Franco, which I think that will be answered, but instead it's going to be the Frederick.
We're not mentioning the fact that now in the knockouts, Grok is back. But just to say, where's the Nova? Nova's open.
Various open.
Anybody remember what happened to Outplayed? I don't know, but Bray, he better have his fingers warmed up on his retribution on first purple.
JR, Renee, thank
surely.
you.
I think you go Novaria.
Thank you, guys.
Right
Thank
now
you so
in
much.
your Burn X Flash. But instead they
Love
go
you,
blue
JR.
Novaria.
Love you, Renee. No way, Masti. What's up, King Masti?
You still have the joy. I think
What's
that
up
it
with
still
you,
is
gang?
a good pick for RSG nevertheless. And wow, they're so the crowd is just cracked up.
That crowd, literally my secret lab is shaking, and this is a heavy-duty chair.
Yes. I mean, so far, I do like the idea of Joy, right? Joy so far within the entirety of MSC has only been picked 4 times and won twice.
Oh, there it is!
Benedetta! That's pretty early.
You like it, right, Gideon? And I think that it's probably way too early, though. But I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
against the glue.
I think it made sense a lot. I thought for a moment that was going to be a Farsa pick, but even the players are just dashing back and forth. I'm not sure whether that is going to be the secured one. Because again, I was expecting Farmis to be the natural go-to mage, or maybe even flex into the support position against this glue. But we see the Beatrix locked in for Burnix Flash.
So far, Burnix Flash have already shown their few cards. There's not much of a flexibility going on around here. Novaria, actually, to be fair, Novaria, we have seen roam Novaria a few times. But in MSC, it has been very... How can I say? It's been working as a mage. We've seen the pokes, we've seen the damage. So I believe that Burnix Flash might want to replicate something like that.
And this is not the hometown
Hi,
heroes
Guapa.
trying
My
to
queen.
upstage RSG, because if you remember,
Thank you
Oki
for
and
Kasapa
Roy
Harang.
did their double Kamehameha, right?
Exactly.
And now it's Seacat and Dodo who's trying to do that.
It's the bang bang.
That's
in
right.
The
Hi,
MLB, right? You go for the
Susanna.
Novaria for added hitbox, which is very unique to the hero, and I think that it really brings a lot to the table. You saw how that Renner was able to connect just because of that increased hitbox coming out from the
And
Novaria.
vision.
And extra vision.
Off of the
course.
Astral Echo. I'm loving it.
That's why I love the Novaria. It's just a borderline
Coverage
OP,
gang.
you know?
You say borderline
Jang.
OP,
Yeah.
it's either
Master
teams have been
Jang.
picking it up straight away and dominating, or
Kosamida.
completely ignoring it,
Arigato.
right? And now we start
Kosamida.
moving into the second phase, and a lot of
Kosamida.
questions come into my mind. And number
friend,
one is,
Mr.
what exactly
Jang.
does RSG
What's
look
good,
to
Mr.
kind of
Jang? Good to see
how
you,
do they
family.
position themselves here
Hi,
against this draft so
GRG,
far?
sexy
Yeah, so
Jesus,
you're looking at
Nazareth
RSG.
City.
They have both.
Virology is my
I mean, I would assume that this is
name.
Farsa and Fredrin. They want to engage for sure. So they want to just really 5v5 against their opponent. So if you want to position your composition, you're going to be looking for another way to start the fights, not the Benedetta, because the Benedetta is more like a split pusher, you know?
But Diablo's Benedetta so far has always been trying to do a lot of split push, and he would mostly be absent in team fights. He creates so much space, and he would want to be ahead of tempo against this glue. Whatever he can do, he wants to get the lane priority in order to find some other control with the team.
I mean, if this does become a big problem and they drop this series, at least Burnix Flash doesn't have to go to an airport to go back home. They can just take a step back and be like, guys, next game, let's really start thinking about this. But more importantly, also it is the Farsa
It is the Farsa.
confirmed. So they want some form of scaling to really punish this Novaria. But we saw it the last time, when you stay still, and especially when you're up against Beatrix as well as Novaria, double damage.
Yeah, this is why I feel that there should be something that RSG is prepared, has prepared because of this Farsa pick. Because, you know, theoretically speaking, I don't think it will be good versus the Novaria and the glue. Like, there's already a lot of counters, but it does have a lot of burst. And we know that both Beatrix and Novaria can be taken out easily. So maybe that's the idea here.
Single worthy foe.
Let me pose you a question, Wolf. The fact that Diggy is already getting banned out here, the fact that we don't even see Grok or Kufra, Lucian Cutie, the cute one's Minotaur all over again?
100%. I think it's good. And, well, then again, if you look at the other heroes of RSG, SG, maybe they're not that scared about the Minotaur because he naturally get evaded. But yeah, I think that the Minotaur eventually will be up there. There's the Bane. Gonna be very good against the Farsa because the Farsa stay still. You have a deadly catch, you cancel the ultimate easily.
Not just the Bane, though. Not just the Minotaur, I mean. Maybe even the Atlas. Consider that. What if they want to close the gap that way, given how, I'd say, mobile RSG is right now?
I'm thinking of Franco as well. After looking at how D7 has been playing a mean Franco, we can definitely expect to see Lucian Cutie playing on the Franco based on his win rate even in the MPLSG. He's been doing relatively good with that. And pickoff is probably something that they will want to see.
Oh, they steal it. Ooh. This is smart. And you go carry so that you have the shred.
So now they have the anti-tank, they have the team of fights set up. I mean, we were speculating how they want to set up this fight to make sure that at least this Farsa can do something. But now we see it, right? It's a very clear picture.
Carry hasn't been doing very well in MSC, but at least when you pick it here, when you go and close up your lineup with this, you're doing fine. And yep, it's D7. Oh no, that's so much range, so much hot hands coming in from Burnix Flash. It's in their name.
Wow, this is interesting because now there's no way to cancel the Bloody Hunt coming out from the side of RSG. So if they do land a snag, and by the way, this is Novaria Ultimate, remember? Hitboxes. You know, Franco, we theorized that maybe this could be the way for Burnix Flash.
So that's 3 skill shots that they have to be worried about. Let's look at the audience predictions so far. And of course, Cambodia, wait, 80%? I thought that was going to be 100%, but a large majority leaning towards RSG. Even the Turkish agree with them.
Singaporeans haven't really been, you know, fully supporting our own homeboys, huh?
Yeah.
I think that's a fair argument.
Wow.
Oh boy, but with that being said here, this is it. This is the knockout stage. We're finally here at day 1 in our first match of this best of 5. Oh boy, Leo, I think it's time. Would you like to introduce these teams?
Yes, I would! Let's get back into the land of dawn. I know y'all missed it. Here's RSG Slate SG going up against Burn X Flash in the opener of the knockout stage.
Right off the bat, what I do want to see and what I want to question when it comes down to RSG's lineup is the fact that they are such a front-to-back, team fight-oriented composition. This kind of seems as though that they are trying to set themselves up so that even if Diablo is not around trying to create space somewhere else, they can still possibly win a fight.
But we've seen lineups that have great coverage. We've seen lineups that try to do so much with so much space that it eventually flops. Look at this, an early amount of damage taken onto Oki, an early recall.
Yeah, definitely. This is much needed for Burn X Flash, knowing full well that the main damage coming up for RSG will be coming from the gold laner, Oki. I mean, you could argue that the Farce eventually will output the damage, but generally speaking, your constant source of DPS comes from the carry. And starting in the gold lane means that Burn X Flash identifies that as the main win condition for RSG.
Something to note as well, look at all of the flickers coming in from Burn X Flash. They are looking to, instead of Purify through the Minoan Fury, through the main CC that RSG are presenting, they're just going to get out of there. So I'm thinking hard re-engage. So Burn X Flash are not going to take this lying down. Again, the pressure down here in bottom lane. Oh, D7.
Relatively passive game so far coming in from both sides. It kind of seems as though RSG do want to put a little bit of priority onto the bottom lane, considering the fact that Carry and Beatrix is a relatively even matchup.
And the answer from RSG Slate is they're going to put a lot more in XP. They're going to try to watch out for XP because look, they've now left Donut and Oki.
Yeah, so I think they're going to mirror each other. It's the triple switch wherein you switch the mid lane to the XP lane and you put the roamer in the mid lane and you have the XP laner roaming in the river.
And now at 2 minutes, Turtle is up. Shima first on the scene. ATM drawing a line.
They're just going to be putting all of their resources onto ATM first. However, it doesn't seem like it's going to be phasing ATM at all until Roy came into the picture. As now the split is just going to be connected onto Bray. As we look over to the back, Diablo just going to be focusing onto the turtle. But that will be Lucian Cutie that takes the turtle at first. But X Flash immediately retreated themselves afterwards.
A string of odd occurrences.
Yes.
First up, Lucian Cutie gets the turtle, and then first blood drawn onto who you want to put the turtle on for Burn X Flash.
That was really a weird interaction, but big props to
Hey,
the
Jen
side of RSG, just making sure that they
Donut immediately flickers himself out of the way. Roy gets a kill. D7 connects right down onto the hook. Plus
Hi, Jen.
the knockdown, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yo, absolutely overextension coming up from RSG, from RSG, then Burn X Flash with a great punish. And this is important because now you give a lot to the gold laners, for both ends actually. But then again, it's even more so important for RSG. Burn X Flash, they have a way out of this. They can go for pickups, but RSG, they have to go full engage.
Nope, they're not letting him breathe, and they hook Bray!
On to Bray, and he doesn't seem like he will be close to purple buff anytime, but he still manages to take it away from Chuma.
Grand Theft Purple already. Chuma, a taste of his
Jen, I
own
missed
medicine.
your live stream. I'm
Where
sorry, dude.
is CCAT?
I gotta turn on your notifications,
We've been talking
okay?
about how much vision and how
I'm gonna
much
turn on your
better
notifications now.
the boxes are going to be for Burn X Flash, but it looks like
Okay,
they're
Dave,
diving
I'm
harder
turning
than
your notifications, okay?
And the most unfortunate of pauses. This is the first occurrence of a pause.
I turned on
in
your
the knockout
notifications,
stage, so,
Jen.
folks.
Okay.
We're still waiting
I'm
for
sorry,
that
Jen,
on what
Jen.
exactly needs to be fixed, but
I miss you, Jen.
know that we want to give our
Okay,
athletes
Jen,
and
I
our
promise
competitors
next
the
time
best
I'll be at your live
competitive
stream. I
experience.
just turned on your
So now with that
notifications.
being said,
Hi, my love.
small lead
My
over
beautiful angel.
to RSG,
In and
SG,
out.
and they know this because they've been going
I
super
turned on your
fast.
notifications, Jen.
By the
so
way,
when
I
you
just
go
want to
live.
take note, related to being
get some
fast, I like that they are actually playing fast with Fredrin and Minotaur. Typically, you want to wait for a team fight, right, when you play the Minotaur. But now what they're doing is to invade. Grand Theft Purple, this is the reason why they are so bold going into the purple buff, even when there's like a Beatrix and a Franco out there, because it's because of the fact that you have sustain coming out from the Minotaur. You cannot give a license to your Fredrin to be aggressive and invade. Typically, Fredrins don't invade, right? Particularly in this case, going up against a Bane. But the fact that they have both Minotaur, two big dudes in the purple buff, right? It's going to be difficult for the defense, and that's the reason why they were able to do it.
We've gotten note that this pause is going to be relatively quick, so folks, don't worry. Here's a quick stat. RSG is the only team that has
How many hours
100%
ago was
first bloods
your live
and
stream?
first turret take rates in
Wow.
the group stages.
Oh.
Abstract, is this par for the course? Is this
might have
typical
been
RSG behavior?
Well, honestly, all the time when it comes down to MPLSG, they are always crowned as the most aggressive team. They will always want to invade in the jungle as fast as they could. But ironically, despite all these aggressive playstyles, they don't play very aggressive early game roamers, which is unfortunately not really quite Lucian Qt's flavor.
And something I also noted after watching and studying MPLSG, specifically RSG, right? They really like early aggressive trades. They are willing to give something else off of the map to go as fast as they could and be the aggressor to push their agenda. That's not happening here against Burning Flash. They're just getting things for free.
They're not afraid to die.
They are. I think that it's generally the idea for RSG is to actually be not afraid to die anytime, because what your win condition could be is to engage, right? But they also have that maybe that second, your plan B, utilizing this Diablo Benedetta for the split push. Now, I'm not entirely confident on whether or not Diablo actually plays that way, right? Maybe Abstract can play this whenever he plays the Benedetta, or maybe Gideon along the way from the sides can actually give us a whether because he's excited to see the Benedetta. Does he play the split push way, right?
Most of the time, he actually do go for split push.
Okay.
But it does seem like it's a little bit out of his character to actually go around to the opponent's buff that much. Usually, he will proxy the lanes, and then he will just kind of give information instead. Sometimes from the top lane, he goes over to the middle lane to clear and try to get a hyper carry in himself in the early stages.
So even this seems to be a new book, a new chapter in the RSG playbook. I'm excited to see where this leads and how far they can push Burn X Flash, because getting off on the right foot, despite Burn X Flash having an amazing draft,
Hi, Jen Jen.
I'm here for it. And it looks like our Marshall says they are too, as we go back into the game. And there's the hook!
Oh, and of course, it does seem as though Lucian Qt wants to continue on, but a flicker comes in from Oki to ensure that he'll be able to come close to Donut.
Wow. Great answer coming out from RSG Slate. Well, there was a great hook onto the far side, but the fact that they took a donut in between two lanes, I think that's going to be great.
I think this is going to be bad due to the fact that Donut actually died 2 times in bottom lane already. That is not great in an even matchup between Carry as well as Beatrix. But right now, RSG, they're getting themselves right underneath the turret's nose, and CCAN and D7 doesn't seem like they will be able to defend that.
Thank you,
They're treading the needle here, and they see that turtle is up. They might need us elsewhere. Let's let Donut breathe first, but again, that's a tactical retreat coming in from RSGSG. Up top, Diablo's, again, going as aggressively as he could, forcing ATM here to back out. Something to note about Burn X Flash's draft is they have no real peel. Besides ATM, who actually wants to draw a line between his opponents and his squad, there's really not much they can do to stand up against RSG's damage, and now a free turtle take right in front of ATM's face.
Roy did manage to get hit by the Grand Grab, but it doesn't seem like it will be too big of a thing, because RSG don't want to be so aggressive on ATM. Great escape though when it comes down to the flicker. In the meantime, down to the bottom lane, great start coming from CCAT. Oki knew that they have no choice but to take the fight head on. He goes down, and so will Lucian Qt.
The numbers game were against RSG down bottom, and it looked like they couldn't find a way to capitalize, so this was a losing trade.
Oh, 100%. Burn X Flash. Great cross-lap play that you saw from them. They put 3 heroes onto the bottom lane right as the second turtle ended. So what happened was, the members of RC were divided, Oki was left open, and even when they decided to not contest the turtle, they went in for a bottom lane trade where they got a kill onto Oki and the turret.
And given this situation right now, RSG Slate SG have to repair. Let's again look at what gave Burn X Flash here this 500-600 gold lead in this early of a game state. Here's that mistake on bottom. They picked the fight against 3 members.
Donut flickering in, just looking for Oki, not really minding Lucian Qt. There was a great jump coming from Lucian Qt eventually, but you saw that Donut was focused on a mission, win the gold lane matchup, and now they're leading by 400. They even transferred to the top lane.
I really like the fact that Burn X Flash immediately went for recovery mode in the bottom lane to try to make things good for Donut. In the meantime, RSG knew what's going to be happening. They wanted to go down to the bottom lane, but Diablo was unable to hold the fort all by himself.
It's the same flub. RSGSG seems to have overestimated the amount of sustain and the potential for outplay in the lane that they're willing to trade for. So yeah, they're a step
Zyra,
behind currently.
my lovely
Now,
unicorn.
about 2k down.
You like the
Ray
unicorn
looking to
emoji,
steal
Steve?
again this purple buff away from Chima, but Chima is a step ahead as well. Look, he took the purple already from RSG.
The siege from Burnex Flash is definitely devastating over to the hands of devastating over to RSG, right? There's really like not much that they can do. Burnex Flash is just playing their own game, while RSG is a little bit slow on that.
Astral Echo already set in by C-Cat, looking for better ways to engage, and here's ATM coming in.
He's just gonna be caught in between of everyone else with the first person down. Bray takes himself the turtle, and Burnex Flash will want to retreat, full-on retreat. Shama makes a quick run, but Diablo with the sword out strike brings him down with 2 members down.
Wonderful recovery coming up from RG Slate. Especially because they were able to control that pit on the turtle. But Burnex Flash, macro plays for the past 2 minutes. They traded for bottom lane turret, and then up top they got through. Then they got the middle. They might have given away the turtle, and now another turret. But they are evening up when it comes to the gold just because of their macro adjustments.
It seems like there's a rubber banding effect here that RSG has taken advantage of. The fact that Burnex Flash has been conditioned to send more bodies elsewhere opens up that small window for RSG to, again, shrink this currently 400 gold lead, which was prior about 2,000. 5-5 here. The map's looking as close to 50-50 as it can be with a minute away from the First Lord of this game. Now we're looking for that next engage. A lot of vision coming in from Burnex Flash. So I'd say, unless Diablo says, you know what, it's a clear go, boys.
Yep.
2 here, 3 here,
Yep.
find that take. It should be go for RSG. One thing to note though, they still have that goal, that tier 1 up top.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, what's going to be the play? Oh yeah, of course, Sendoki.
Yeah, Sendoki there. And by the way, Burnex Flash also managed to push the mid lane turret while also retaining their own. And while it is almost an even matchup when it comes to their economy, the fact that they have maintained their tier 1 in the middle means that they have more map control.
And Donut immediately jumps himself with a Banat's Rage, followed after D7's hooks.
So that's something you don't have when you're RSG. Everything has to come clean. Everything has to come when you're ready.
The pincer maneuver down on the Oki. ATM brings him down as Burnex Flash huddles together, congregated together to make sure that they will be able to push RSG away from their own jungles.
That's what I was saying. When Burnex Flash says we want this, they're more sure. It's easier to set up. RSG need maybe 2 steps, and here comes Diablo.
Unfortunately, the Petrify just did not connect. ATM comes in between and stops his advance.
Oh, they're going for the blitz. Burnex Flash scores the First Lord of the game. Something to note, Diablo usually rocks and execute when he wants to play this way in the Benedetta. What's with the Petrify?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, but what I do know is that Burnex Flash had a great last minute. It was the most fluid 1 minute I saw from Burnex Flash. They got a kill in the middle. They pinch from top into the L-bush up top where the lizard is. They got a kill onto Oki. Then they get the Lord. That was so fluid from Burnex Flash.
There's definitely some sense in Diablo picking up the Petrify. Now, he kind of pretty much changed his idea and how he wanted to play the game. Instead of going so much of a side split push kind of thing, he wanted to play for his team a lot more with the Petrify and all. But unfortunately, it seems like they are completely not utilizing the
play Mobile Legends, Jay?
And it looks like D7. The rest of Burnex Flash have ran into that. Maybe checkmate because his hooks have been landing 50% of the time, and that's a huge stat. That's a huge amount of hooks coming in through a 10-minute game. That's a tier 2 in mid push. The main artery exposed for RSG. Slate SG, Burnex Flash looking to capitalize. They have a Lord. All the lasers synced.
The top lane is just gonna be marched down by the Trident-bearing Lord, and he's gonna be melted down relatively fast. In the meantime, great snipe down onto Lucian Cutie. The front line is not gonna be there for a good amount of time. There's not gonna be some presence coming in, but Red Hot coming in right through onto Oki, and this RSG doesn't have the damage that they wanted anymore.
Knock up that stat to about 60%. If not, It's worth it. I don't care. You get one hold that matters. That's all that matters. And right now,
The airstrike along with the deadly catch. Everything just gonna be tossed right on the opponents, and they will throw whatever that they can. ATM gets himself snacked out on top of Lucid Cutie. There's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade, but Oki, he's coming back out. The top lane and the middle lane inhibitor turret is unfortunately gonna be taken down, followed shortly by the bottom.
4v4, the defense of a lifetime coming in from RSG Slade. Roy doesn't have his feathered airstrike just yet. Burnex Flash, let's go.
The Cambodian aggression, we're talking about this. It was part of the skills that we were given, and now we can see it. So ever since 9 minutes, they didn't even let go of the pressure they're putting on the map. Pushing up top, pushing a bit, getting the Lord, and when they pushed against RSG, they stayed, but did not overstay. They got a pick off, they got more, but wonderful plays coming out from Roy.
Do you see how much damage that was? Even Sika wasn't ready. Even Sika was shocked.
That was a big catch. Let's say that, and not to forget, the Lord will be coming up in 15 seconds. CCAT will just barely make it. So I believe that RSG, they can actually try to force a fight due to the fact that Novara is nowhere to be seen anymore.
Roy still needed to be there, and Roy would rather not died. And rather, CCAT, Roy got him. The fact that he kept his flicker might mean that he's willing to gamble that. But wait, look at this rotation coming in.
Oh, I love it, because I was just about to say, RSG, the only way for them to win this is via split push. Get a long lane pusher, like Diablo, for example. But look at that. You can see that Burnex Flash knew that this could happen. They just guessed it wrongly.
Oh, there's a bloody hunt down on the Diablo. Donut was around, so RSG, they have the information. They're going to be going 4-man all in down to the Lord and immediately bring down ATM. But unfortunately, he do have got the revive. And he, with the immortality, he's going to be holding him back on. ATM, he's dead. He may be dead. RSG do not have Diablo as well.
Given the way the map looks like, no more inhibitors for RSG Slade SG. Burnex Flash read the room and understood that we can blitz the Lord. They're going to be forced to back out. We have vision on them. We're going to take this Luminous Lord and play the slow roll.
Now, there's some high-level understanding coming out from Burnex Flash, and I really love their macro. Like I said, they just guessed a wrong bush, but the idea was there. They wanted to shut down Diablo because Diablo is the remaining win condition from RSG. The biggest problem for RSG now on this defense is that they will have to commit the feathered airstrike. And we know for sure that without the feathered airstrike, you will only rely on Oki's damage output, which is single target damage against the engaged comp now of Burnex Flash. That is a big problem. How will they manage their resources? When will they use the feathered airstrike? That's a big dilemma for RSG.
And that's what's making this all the more difficult. And that's why Burnex Flash has so much time and space to work with.
Yes,
they now have the Lord marching down through mid. It's a 5v5 defense, the siege of a lifetime. Can they start it off strong?
The shred is not quite there yet for Oki, but big snap coming from Donut, leaving Diablo with only a sliver of health. But unfortunately, Lucid Cutie is not going to be staying alive for any more longer. The Lord is still at half HP. The bloody hunt connects down onto Diablo, and the entirety of the push-in from Burnex Flash conquered RSG Slade SG.
Eddie, what's up, Eddie?
You can hear the crowd roar. The Kamai love it. Burnex Flash draws first blood.
In the last push, you saw the ultimate coming up from Sika, connecting onto 5 members. A pipe dream for Novara players out there. And you saw how much the vision was instrumental to them hitting and landing those skill shots.
That is a big fight for Burnex Flash, and RSG unfortunately could not contain Burnex Flash rotation. Their macro game is just great, and they had the answers to deal with Diablo's split push, even though that was his first time doing so in this game.
Folks, it's also the first time RSG has tasted the bitter blade of defeat. The whole MSC, they ran right through the group stages, clean sweeps back-to-back, but now, in the hands of Burnex Flash, they have tasted their first loss. Gideon, what do you think? Was that coming out of nowhere, or was it just as exciting given the back and forth?
I love the back and forth, I love the Benedetta, but I think Wolf put it the best. Be like water, be fluid. This is, again,
Eddie, let's go.
I've never seen momentum turn a team literally into a
I'm
liquid.
gonna give you 5 and win.
Burnex Flash are burning hard this time, almost even a forest fire. But this is only just the very first game. Let's
I'm gonna
keep
give
that
you 5
in mind,
subscribers,
right?
Eddie.
There is still going to be adjustments.
Welcome to the family,
and
Eddie.
adaptations from RSG side. And the one big one that I personally feel
Upcoming
that
premiere?
may have
All right, on the way.
contributed into this is executional error on this Benedetta. And
King
but
Eddie.
that's the obvious one, right? It's
I
Glue
see you,
versus
gang.
Benedetta. You just have to guess when the Franco's going to use the Bloody Hunt to go for the eye for
King
an eye. It's a
Eddie.
very
Thank you, bro.
small margin of error compared to Glue.
Definitely, and I think that
All my
the margin
members,
of error
please connect
kinda
to King
shrunk
Eddie.
coming
Got
out
an
from,
upcoming premiere.
for the side of
All right,
RSG's late SGs because of the fact that they
Right,
decided
W.
to choose a
W,
marksman that
Eddie.
is single target damage
What's up,
and
Rob?
then couple it up and just rely on the Farsa to go for the wave clear. So apart from the fact that they don't have AoE, they don't have necessary wave clear to kind of counteract what the pick-off comp is going to be for Burn X Flash. They wanted to go
All my
for a
members
split
connect
pushing
to each other.
Diablo Benedetta.
Eddie, I'ma
is
give
valid.
you
That has
5
worked
more
before.
subscribers.
But I would wish that they had more wave clear to go with that so that when they lose a T fight,
Big
at
W.
least they can split push and just clear the wave, wait for the carry to be stronger the next fight.
I think the deficit of economy between Oki and Diablo is gonna be one thing, right? Because they have been putting quite a lot of resources onto Diablo. Diablo trying to push as much as possible. He's taking quite a lot of creep waves as well. So we don't really quite see that kind of funnel into Oki like other team does. They put a lot of gold onto Beatrix, like for Burn X Flash. That's what they did. They sent Beatrix to the top lane right after the first defense turret goes down. They wiped out the first tier and the second tier. From that point on, Beatrix pretty much has a snowball.
And this is off of the back of Donut dying twice in the early game.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think Burn X Flash just had a better look into what the mid-game spike is going
Absolutely.
to be.
A better
And
recovery, right?
Yeah, and recovered through their minds. Let's go ahead and reward our MVP for game 1.
Yep, it's gonna go over to D7 on his Franco. Again, when you're comparing them, D7 versus Lucian QD, it's very obvious to know that that Iron Hook makes such a difference.
Just in time, 1-0 and 9. I didn't even notice that he didn't have any depth in this game. The fact that he landed at a certain point above 50% of his hooks, which is amazing, by the way. You don't get as much looks like that. And then he will. Not only
Thank
that,
you,
the
Rob.
way
Appreciate
that he
you, gang.
flickers in with the Bloody Hunt onto important members like onto Diablo.
All my members
specific,
subscribe to Eddie, Jackie
skirmishes.
Chan, Tao
The way
Rob.
that he was able
Young
to land
Kings,
his
get
hooks
rich,
is not
gang.
just about landing the hooks on the right targets. That gave them the advantage for sure.
I'm over here
Again,
fucking
we
these
talked
chips
about
up.
how those hooks could not matter even more in the late game.
Yeah.
But the fact that when we caught the stat, it was at 51%.
Woo!
Was that his second or third landed hook this game? It was a punish, and I think that was key. I think the fact that D7 never let go. D7 said, yeah, Donut, it sucks right now. Just hold on, watch my hooks. Whoever I bite down, take him down.
Yeah, this is important. Look at the flicker coming up from Donut. It's great. And allow me to be a nerd right now for the highlights.
Eddie,
just because
let's
of the fact
go,
that
Eddie. Welcome to the
I think I'm
family,
excited for
man.
this. This is the 9-minute rotation. This is the start. He gets a hook, and now look at the pinch that will happen afterwards. They will get a kill onto this L bush, right? The pinch. Everybody's there all of a sudden, right? And you know what happens after? They are gonna get the Lord. This made me break my voice because it's how great the macro was coming up from Burn X Flash. Man, I hate to be the nerd here, but man, they just look so fluid.
They read the room,
Damn,
and they
crazy.
understood the next step without even talking about it. I'm pretty sure if you
Absolutely.
could listen to the comms,
Absolutely.
they could have said, yeah, Lord, all together. A chorus.
Of course, as a matter of fact, I totally agree with you there. I've never seen Wolf soil his pants as hard as after seeing Burn X Flash make that beautiful trickle down in towards Lord's side. But let's really take put a magnifying glass on the overall game, because I think at the end of the day, it's very ult reliant for the side of RSG, and they don't have that continuous cooldown that they can reliably force things out of their opponents.
And one thing to take note is that Diablo didn't go for any kind of defensive item, apart from maybe the Bloodlust Axe, which kind of counts as a defensive item if you do land the damage out. But overall, you see Diablo being bursted down so easily with just one flicker and some spells coming up from BXF is already putting him down, which is a problem because now you don't have sustain and also you don't have the valid split push.
Very uncharacteristic of Diablo, actually. He normally doesn't go for third item Malefic Roar. Most of the time, he would want to go and respect the opponents and build a proper defense. Sometimes he doesn't even finish the Hunter Strike.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm on a different opinion here. I understand what he's trying to do, because as an EXP laner, especially when you're going up against someone like Glue, yeah, you're not trying to win the lane as hard, but they kind of do the same thing. You're trying to zone off that backline, and you're not as tanky as Glue, so therefore put all your points in attack just to threaten the life of the Beatrix.
But that's only if you're thinking about the Glue. Look at the rest of Burn X Flash. You have a Bane, you have a Beatrix, you have a Novaria.
Yeah.
That kind of greed isn't going to work, especially when CCAT, as soon as he sees Astral Echoes off cooldown, let me see where the Benedetta is.
All my members connect to the newest member of the Party Crasher family.
Adjustment, I'd say.
King
because there was a time where he was easily bursted down during the turtle fights. So after focusing on damage, which typically you can expect that from a Bane jungle, he reverted back to defense, going for the brute force breastplate so that he can last in the middle of the fight, especially because you have a skill for the Bane so that you can kind of bring back your HP. All you have to do is to survive the first combo and then just heal up, and then you're back in action. That's exactly what the adjustment was from Chima. Got 0-2 in the start, but recovered so well because of the items.
Yeah, and especially with the brute force breastplate, similar to Alpha, you can just spam your abilities and your clear speed is rather insane, going from camp to camp to camp to camp to camp.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I really like how Burnix Flash really just approaches it. And Gideon was very much on point when he said, I saw it in my pants, because that was beautiful. And if this is how Burnix Flash is eyeing to defend their hometown, man, I'm up for the BXF train for sure. I mean, I have been kind of biased towards RSG SG just because of how impressed I was because of how they played in the group stages. But after seeing Burnix Flash like this, man, I think I'm riding the train, the Cambodian train.
Is this the way we can expect Burnix Flash to start drafting going into the next few games? They took out the Badang, they took out the Khalid. Now the Benedetta, they know that, hey, we can deal with the Benedetta. We know that Diablo isn't as comfortable, especially when we force him to build a certain way. Because unless RSG SG brings out something new, then this might be it.
I don't know about that one, because whether it's Benedetta or even if it's going to be Joy, the margin of error still comes onto the player. There's a lot of faith that Diablo is going to be able to escape and out-mechanic his opponents, maybe even outplay them in these types of situations. But I don't know about you guys. I think we need a bit of a breather here after the momentum, especially with the Cambodian crowd. I felt that even the Singaporeans definitely felt that type of pressure. With that being said, I'm extremely curious to what exactly Mara and as well as Rabi are up to back up on the main stage.
Thank you, casters. We're here with the fans of Burnix Flash. We have Kylie and we have YB. How you guys doing?
Eddie, please subscribe back to Towel Rob.
Pretty good. How about you?
Mary Lou Vlogs.
Also, I love their energy. It's very good.
Now, Burnix Flash did very well for match number 1. What did you like about the first game?
Okay ឥឡូវហ្នឹង Burnix Flash បានទទួលបានជ័យជំនះហើយនៅក្នុង match 1 ហ្នឹងថាតើយើងមានអារម្មណ៍យ៉ាងម៉េចដែរសម្រាប់ការឈ្នះមួយនេះ
Yeah, I'm very excited about game 1. Yeah. I និយាយខ្មែរ Okay. ខ្ញុំចាប់អារម្មណ៍ទៅលើដៃថេងគាត់គឺហុកច្បាស់មែនតើនិយាយទៅ10ដងគាត់ហុកត្រូវ5ដងឯង
Wow. He's very excited with the player that they are very good at playing that until they defeat
all my members please connect
until
to
they
each
defeat
other.
the enemy.
Sure.
You said you're very excited. Okay, I want to see.
Ellie,
how do you show
queen.
excitement? Show it. Show it.
Let me show it.
Okay, how? Show it again.
What the fuck?
This is what we wanted.
Okay, we're not gonna show that on camera, but basically that's what it is. Earlier you were doing this. What is that? Is that like a fusion? That's a heart.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a heart.
Now, Kylie, what do you want to see for game number 2 for Burnix Flash?
Okay ឥឡូវសម្រាប់វគ្គទី 2 តើយើងនឹងចង់ឃើញអ្វីពី Burnix Flash
និយាយខ្មែរធម្មតាយើងលេងធម្មតាទៅព្រោះឲ្យយើងដាក់ឈ្នះទៀតហើយ
Simple but not simple. This is Wanda quote.
Okay, who do you think is the biggest threat to RSG? And what do you want done to him? Who's the biggest threat for RSG?
តើសម្រាប់ RSG អ្នកណាគេគឺជាអ្នកដែលមើលទៅគួរឲ្យខ្លាចបំផុតដែលមានភាពគំរាមកំហែងមកលើ Burnix Flash របស់យើង
I think no one.
Oh!
Wow!
No one. Okay, that's a pretty big thing to say. Now, how about you, Kylie? Who do you think is going to dominate for Burnix Flash for game number 2? Pick one player.
តោះអ្នកណាគេដែលមើលទៅគឺជាអ្នកលេងខ្លាំងនៅក្នុង Burnix Flash ដែលយើងគិតថានៅវគ្គទី 2 ហ្នឹង
មិនមែនមួយហើយក៏មិនមែនពីរប៉ុន្តែគឺទាំងអស់គ្នាតែដែលល្អជាងគេគឺ D7.
Wow, he said that not only one, not only two, but all the player.
All.
But the most one is D7.
Oh, D7. Why? What is it about D7?
តើ D7 នឹងគាត់មានអីដែលមើលទៅអស្ចារ្យឬមួយក៏សំខាន់ដែលយើងគិតថា D7 គឺជាអ្នកដែលលេចធ្លោជាងគេ
មកពីពេលដែលគាត់លេងទៅគាត់លេងដោយវាយរែងតទៅពេលអញ្ចឹងទៅគឺគាត់មើលទៅខ្លាំងយកមក
អូខេបកប្រែខ្លួនឯងតនិយាយ
because he playing rank right now he doesn't nervous
Okay, you're tricking me the entire time. I thought you couldn't speak English. All right, but wait. We know you were pointing out earlier that somebody special is here for D7, right?
Hey, Tati, what the hell?
It's D7 girlfriend!
Oh, D7 girlfriend!
We have D7 girlfriend here!
Come on over here, D7
You see him, Rob?
Come on over.
Stefan Pro Max. What's up, gang?
We see Mirko right over here.
What's
Mirko,
up, Trovo?
just a quick thing. How is your IG, your Instagram right now?
Okay, some 99K.
It's gone. It's gone. It's completely gone.
Steven Pro Max.
Guys, what happened there?
Good.
I don't know. I just drew some teams.
Guys, don't be mad at Mirko for the team draw. Let's put back his IG. Now, everyone's saying that you are the buff for D7, that D7 is stronger because you're here. How true is that?
Okay. គេលើសូថាយើងគឺជា girlfriend របស់ D7 ហើយគេថា D7 គឺជាអ្នកដែលមួយលេងមួយដែលខ្លាំងមែនតើតើវាពិតអត់
Yeah. But
Yes.
Yes.
We say yes. D7 is the greatest one.
You are so beautiful. Now, before we go back to Burn X Flash, can we get the crowd? How about
Tati, why you not a moderator?
We want to see your energy.
Okay, that's
for
cheer
them
for
to
Burn
have
X Flash
energy.
about you,
Go ahead. You lead. You lead.
2, 3,
Yeah! All right. You heard it from them.
Thank you, Steph.
It seems like Burn X Flash will dominate from that energy. So how about let's go to our casters. Let's take it back to see the world.
Thank you, Mara, and also thank you, Ravi. It's good to see the career caster that looks almost identical to Kyrie.
No, it was Kyrie.
It
okay?
I mean, it was Kyrie.
It's Kyrie KH.
It is Kyrie.
Kyrie KH. Literally can't tell the difference between the two. Great to see that they are still in high hopes
Annette,
for
what's
Burn X
up,
Flash
gang?
to wash out RSG, but we have to come down to the adaptations here. Now, let's talk about this a little bit because I felt like in terms of the draft, there were a lot of potential pain points, but it all comes down to margin of error rather than the draft itself.
I definitely agree with you. I think it's not just about the draft for sure. I mean, we can argue all day about the draft, but what I noticed that they did is that, at least for Burn X Flash, that they had the better macro. And for RSG, Slate SG,
Eddie,
what I
please
noticed
subscribe
in the,
back to
group
all my
stages,
members,
they
man.
also have good understanding of the game. It's not just about them just try to win a team fight. They tried to split the map utilizing Diablo in this kind of heroes. This time, that didn't happen. They tried to engage all the time, and they were punished for it.
And it seemed like they were going too fast. I think I presented.
That's also true.
I presented this question earlier, right? Like, abstract, you've seen them season after season after season, and even I said, "Hey, look, this is too fast. They're not trading towards anything."
Yeah, they're just. I'm not too sure whether they are just eager or perhaps nervous. I mean, it's the first game for today.
Yeah.
Burn X Flash, they're just playing the heck out of that.
Yeah.
And I think that they will be able to keep up to that momentum and just ride on to the wave. What is RSG's answer to that?
Personally, for me, I think Coach Kuja has been in this position many times when he sees his player really just not only just feeling nervous, but trying to deal with the raw momentum coming out from Burn X Flash. You gotta calm down. You have to be more situationally aware because a lot of those pincer maneuvers that we see from Burn X Flash were, honestly, they could have just pulled away from it.
Yeah, there were so many times that they could have gotten away. Just just split a lane, maybe get some defensive items so that you'll last longer. Try to focus on minions when you're not winning. So yeah, definitely, it's just that the decision maker from RSG is not at par with their decision making during the stages.
Something else to note, coming in from game 1 with Burn X Flash from the red side winning. We're getting closer to a true 50-50. Prior to the knockout stage,
Hey, King Rob. Hey, Shay Shay.
And 49%.
Thank you for subscribing to my members, King Rob.
The advantage. Now,
And,
again, with
I'll
red
make sure they
being all the
subscribe
more in
back.
better drafting
Thank you, Shay
position,
Shay.
as was mentioned by Coach Zico earlier.
Thank you, my
I
queen,
think we can
Unicorn President.
finally see. I was going to say, maybe some change in the sides, but what's going on?
Well, they decided to go like that. And I think that RSG is quite confident with the way that they're drafting. Maybe the Frederick will not be the first pick now for RSG. Maybe something
you,
along
Shay
the lines
Shay.
of a
Have a
Joy
good day at
perhaps,
work.
or maybe a Valentina, which I think was kind of... It was not
It was
even-
left open.
That was left open. Wow, okay. Rare times. Also, Novaria. We have to talk about that hero because clearly Burnix Flash made a good use of that hero because of the way that they drafted the Beatrix plus the Franco, the greater hitbox, and of course the vision that they get out of it.
With having just the Novaria and Beatrix itself, we saw in the middle lane, right after the Bloody Hunt, they made full use of that. They have the damage to fully capitalize that catch potential from T7.
Slight adjustment
Ellie,
coming
my
in from RSG
queen.
side. They are banning out Blue within
Hi,
that very
Queen
first
Ellie.
phase instead. Does that mean that we're going to see a different opening from RSG?
100%. I think it's really,
Eddie.
there you go, the
There we go.
Novaria. So
all my
I
members,
really like
please
this
connect to
adjustment
the
coming up from
newest member
RSG.
of the
18M, although
family.
he wasn't really like
Eddie,
making the
Jackie
biggest
Chan.
plays whatsoever. On theory, the lineup of Burnix
Thank
Flash
you, Shay
worked
Shay.
because there was a way to zone out the damage dealers coming up from RSG. Carry had a bad time just because of this glue.
All right, if that is the case, will we be seeing it once again, right? Going, instead of playing the traditional front to front, we're looking to front to back,
Yeah.
and maybe looking for those side angles. Arguably, even the Beatrix early
Yes,
steal
I
away
agree.
from the side of BXF.
100%. I think the Beatrix will be picked up here to go with perhaps a jungler, an early
4.9,
jungler, maybe along the lines of
4.9.
maybe they snatch the Frederick or Valentina plus the Beatrix.
Oh yeah, I do like that. The Valentina. Oh no, you were right about. We were right about the roles, not right about the heroes. It's Wan
1-1.
and Frederick.
We didn't notice.
Yeah, we didn't notice because it was banned out by RSG. So how do you answer this? You don't have a Farsight kind of deal with it. Maybe somewhere along the lines of Lolita late into the draft, but for now it's gonna be the Martis for RSG.
Wait. Eugene. Does Diablo have a Phobius?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You gotta ban that out if you are Burnix Flash.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that a lot, in a matter of fact. But the fact, at the end of the day, at least we know that Burnix Flash, they want to play a traditional front to front, right? You know, hit that front line, and then slowly, once you get rid of it, go in towards that back. Fredrin is really good at it. More importantly, he's also considered a flex pick in these situations. He could go into the EXP.
That's right,
so it's
right.
really up to RSG to kind of pose the question rather than coming up with the answers.
Oh, it's the Valentina. And talked about that earlier on. So far, I believe it was the Martis that RSG's they picked up as their third pick. The thing with Valentina is that it's the matchup between Novaria and Valentina is not as similar as a Valentina v Eve or a Valentina v Farsa, because the ultimate of the Novaria is not the main damage dealing ultimate that you get from. Surely you want the other vision whatsoever, but the real damage comes from the Astrosphere, right? So you cannot copy that for Valentina.
Or better yet, the fact is maybe Valentina can even turn the tides if she, I don't know, steals an early decimate from Bray and then looking to take out multiple targets we've seen aggressive teams potentially do towards at least the 3rd or 4th minute.
I think right now having the Valentina itself is already a big pressure onto RSG, right? Telling them, you know what, if you want to go for a roam pick, what kind of roam you want to go for? More on pressure in the early game, or do you want to actually give us big ultimates? As right now, Burnix Flash, they already shown their cards. They would want to play front to back. They want to find a way to unlock the 1-1 to make sure that every single one of those weakness points are popped early.
Look at this. We talked about Lolita, right? It was banned out, understandably so. But now we're talking about Phobius. And this is a very Filipino way of drafting for Burnix Flash, where maybe the 4th pick for Burnix Flash is going to be perhaps a roamer. Then they reserve their last pick for a potential like Esmeralda, so that when they do give up the Phobius, they have another layer to counter it. So that might be the answer here. I feel that Burnix Flash will last pick their ATM hero, get the maybe something like a Franco perhaps actually, if it's open. Yeah, I think you go Franco here for Burnix Flash.
Yeah, no, and this is also an attribute to the fact that they have that flex pick right at the very beginning.
right.
So this is why when we see Fredrin right at the start, you have that possibility of the Esmeralda later on. But we come back towards RSG side, right? How do they deal with this? Because at the end of the day, even if they don't get, let's say they don't go for the Phobius, there's pretty much nobody else that really can deal with this Wan.
Yeah, 100%. I think maybe a Yuzhong, but that won't be the best. They picked up the Novaria. Great damage on the 1-1 for sure, but they have to have a way to kind of lock down the 1-1 So I'm thinking Minotaur might not be a bad decision, but you know, could be
for Roamer.
For
But
Roamer.
then again, if anything, the Roamer and the XP between those two, it's the XP that has to be the X factor. It has
Thank
to
you,
be the
Rob.
unique pick.
Appreciate you
The
helping
outlet
my
is not
members,
available.
man.
It's not picked out just yet. It's
Appreciate
been
you.
leaked out throughout all of the ban picks.
Yeah.
Diablo
Hey, Queen
is able to
Rose.
play an outlet, and there could be possibility
King
that
Eddie.
RSG from
Welcome
the
to the
previous game they
family.
played the teamfight comp.
I got to
This
go get
is
some
probably the
sleep.
time
See you
that they
later. Okay,
want
King
Diablo
Robbie,
to
it's late, man.
initiate
4 in the
and funnel
morning.
more onto
Yeah.
Oki, onto the Beatrix.
Yo,
It's the Bane
Toddy.
instead. So that's a confirmed
Hey,
X killing
Rose.
Fredrin. Now for RSG,
Landers.
I think they need to secure Franco. I was about to say Franco because it has great synergy with the Beatrix and the Novaria, as you saw in the previous game. So it's definitely just a mirror move from RSG, like they steal the heroes. Wow! Whoa!
That's right. That's
Whoa.
the Jawhead making its debut pick, and I have heard down the grapevine that Diablo's packing heat. This
I love
was
it.
possibly one of those. Wait, are we sure that this is an XP lane? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gotta be an
it's
XP lane, Jawhead, right?
I don't know.
I
it
don't
could
know.
technically go into the jungle so you can get early, like,
That's also
again,
true.
get
That's
a
also true.
EXP lead, like a massive EXP lead to keep this 1-1 in place. And then the Atlas to follow up with Burn X Flash. They got the counter engage for team fights.
I last saw a Jawhead XP that really hurt in ranked
Mary
games. This is gonna be this is gonna be an acquired taste.
Woo! Okay, so I think that it will be the Marcus in the jungle, and then
Hi,
you have
Mommy
the XP lane.
Rose.
You have the XP lane Jawhead. I
Team
don't know
Ellie.
if it's great versus the Fredrin because Fredrin still has got a knock-up, so it means that your smart missiles might be easily countered by that fact. And also, there's a dash from the Fredrin which you get you get easily.
Hey, Chris.
There's so many ways
Hi,
for you to
baby
dodge the
Chris.
one-shot combo in the early stages of the Jawhead. So I'm not entirely sure if that will work, but hey, this is Diablo, right?
It's
Who am I to
Diablo.
say?
Right? I thought the same thing every single time I see Khalid and Badang.
Yeah,
He's a
exactly.
handsome devil.
He's a handsome devil.
Hi,
He knows
sis,
what he's
Chris.
doing.
Here's the question as well. Now for Burn X Flash battle spells.
Ooh, you're right about that. The battle spells is going to matter, but Leo, take us into the land of dawn.
That I will. Here we go. If Burn X Flash is able to ride that momentum, they'll be sitting at match point, putting RSGSG way more deeper into that back foot. Let's go and see, finally confirmed. Yeah, no, it's a basic 1-1. It's the inspired 1-1. So yeah, if Diablo plays his cards right, he can burst down this marksman.
So I haven't seen a lot of Jawhead fights going on. I haven't really seen a Jawhead versus a Fredrin. So what kind of matchup should we be expecting here?
Yeah, like I said, right? It's also unfamiliar to me. I feel that you have a massive wave clear on the Jawhead compared to a Fredrin just because of the fact that you have the smart missiles. But like I said, you can dodge the one-shot combo of the Jawhead. So what he does now is to actually put some influence in the
Eddie.
lane instead.
Hey, Shay Shay.
That's a rotation coming in from
Hi, baby
RSGSG,
Chris.
and the answer from Burn X Flash. It's a man-to-man defense, 2-on-2 up top.
Both of the gold laners from RSG and Burn X Flash, they don't really have a lot of health to work with. As long as a single team from either side decide to really commit to bring down the gold laners, I think that is going to be quite a momentum shift.
And because of RSGSG obliging down bottom, Chama and the gang find a window into taking that small camp. So it's a mirrored movement. So far, no
Hi,
major
baby Chris.
economic gains on either side.
Hi, Mommy
so I think we're back to
Rose.
square one. I can say RSGSG has
Hi,
reset.
little Shay Shay.
By the way, just for the benefit of everyone, let me take you back to January of 2022 when Donut made waves in the Southeast Asian
Thank you
Games
for the
qualifier
time
for
sock,
the Philippines,
Shay
where he
Shay.
played the 1-1 with the Inspire. He made it famous.
Yep, that was even before it was a
Thank
thing.
you for the
Exactly.
share,
A
Mommy
year and
Shay Shay.
change into
Yes.
the metagame, and right after Donut debuted it, suddenly it's one of the worst nightmares
Exactly.
in pro play. Once more, folks, do bear with us. We want to make sure that this game is as enjoyable for our athletes, for our competitors, as it is for you watching. So let's wait for our marshals to give a signal to give you a better idea as to what may be getting fixed up here.
Yeah.
Timer should be coming up now.
Shay
We
Shay,
have
you
talked
are
about
very
how the
busy.
1-1 should be
What's
solved
up, Daniel?
by RSGSG, right? They did open it up. But now, what can they do with their Novaria? Because all the pressure is on them. If you can hear it from our microphones, folks, everybody's cheering for Burn X Flash. The room is orange. Well, literally and figuratively, if you know what I'm saying. But RSGSG, the pressure's on them. They now have the power pick of the Navaria.
Surely the way that they should be doing this is for pickups. Just really almost the same as that's how Burning Splash did it.
The main tree, right?
The main tree, exactly. So you want to be fluid, you want to be constantly just applying the pressure on specific parts of the map as 3, or maybe, you know, utilize your Jawhead to also give some damage, to output some damage. Problem is, I don't think that they have enough tools to go up against the 1-1, right? Surely you can theory craft that maybe if they get a bite with a Bloody Hunt, maybe they clear out the 1-1 so easily, but it's not going to be easy.
I understand that Jawhead has a gap closer in his ultimate, right?
Yep.
However,
Unstoppable force.
Yeah, however, it's not necessarily that far range either. Unstoppable force still needs to be relatively close.
Hi,
and
my
looking
queen.
at Diablo's emblems, he's going for the high and dry.
back
Very
again,
possibly
huh,
he's
GG?
looking for first item, second item, offensive.
Hi,
That's right. Later have to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Likely, he is going to have to play off of his flicker timers. And yeah, you mentioned high and dry, previously known as, now called the Master Assassin. I think Burning Flash knows. Burning Flash understands that that's going to be the dynamic. And I wonder if they have the front line for that.
I think the kiting game is going to be pretty big and huge for Burning Flash.
The main front line for RSG might be Beret with this Martis. That's probably your source. And it's kind of, you can outplay the Atlas with that, but because what you want to do is to just literally just stay in front, force out the Atlas to use flicker or perfect match in undesired ways.
What's up, Global?
But that might not be enough, you know.
Folks, in case you're wondering, when was the last time we saw Jawhead and of course that cute little girl, Ayn Henry? It was M4 actually. It was in a matchup between
RRQ Hoshi.
RRQ Hoshi. There you go. It was against RRQ Hoshi.
Against. Okay.
It was Onyx who picked it. I hope this is a clearer picture for all of y'all. It was Onyx and RRQ Hoshi in the Rome, I believe. Wouldn't want to put it anywhere else. And it was in the lower bracket semis. That was earlier this year.
So essentially, Diablo all by himself have given MSC 3 debut picks.
That's right.
And if this wins, 3 must ban debut picks.
Yeah. Technically, Diablo has 100% win rate heroes, right? So far. Specific picks. Like Khalid is 100%.
Right.
And then Badang is 100%.
That's true.
And if he wins this, another record for the handsome devil.
The handsome devil.
El Diablo.
El Diablo.
Right.
You just added L to the first of his name, but yes.
Hey, it means something, right?
El Diablo Guapo. That's the handsome devil.
Is it guapo in... I don't know actually. Is it guapo in
Spanish?
Is it guapo
really?
in Philippines? In Filipino?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
guapo.
double check that.
Yeah.
All right. It's all about how Burning Splash is the secretly most aggressive team. Surprisingly most aggressive team here. First in overall kill participation. So together, they want to burn.
Yeah, together they achieve a lot. And that is actually pretty evident in what they did in previous game. It's not just about the aggression, it's also understanding the map. They're not only aggressive when it comes to kills, they're also aggressive when it comes to like spreading their influence in the map.
Great toss onto D7, but unfortunately that did not yield much dividends. D7 is still capable to join into this upcoming team fight for the very first turtle. But for RSG, they're coming in from all sides. ATM doesn't really have a lot of help to work with, but he's not going to be the jungler at all for now. But Martis, first one down. That means the retribution is not around. 1 for 2, 2 for 1 right now. This is big.
Oh, big money going over to burn X Flash. An amazing trade, 2 for 1 plus a turtle on the way out. And this gold lane being a deadlock is good for Burn X Flash despite all the action down bottom.
Yeah, that's because it's a 1-1 and now you can see Donut's special. He
I'm
went
guapo,
for the play, the aggressive play, because D7
And
already
you're
scouted the
guapa,
long bush
my
on the right side, so he
asawa
knew
ko.
that it was a safe way to kind of be aggressive and force out Oki to use the flicker.
Now there's a hook!
And of course, immediately with a bloody hunt down on the D7, Oki expanded out of Neighbor's passion and brings him down.
About a minute and a quarter until this next turtle. So far, ATM and Diablo not moving. here's that question, right? Earlier we asked, what's this matchup like? I didn't expect it to be such a dead lane.
Yeah, it was pretty much. Because this is probably because of Diablo. What he does is just to clear out the waves, then get into the mid lane, right? You want to roam around the right side of the river, and he's not really trying to fight the Fredrin. And I think that's understandable. Remember when we first studied the draft, Fredrin v Jawhead, you thought that Fredrin will have so many ways to kind of outplay the Jawhead. So Diablo says, okay, I'm not going to be able to kill you. I'm just going to get to the river.
Yeah, what's the advantage if you don't exercise on it?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're winning, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah. In the meantime, up in the bottom lane, it does seem as though Diablo spread a little bit too far as they were looking for an assassination attempt. But it does seem as though they were the one assassinated instead.
Wow, this is so poetic. They countered. The Diablo wanted to go for the proxy too early, far too early. Seacat was ready for that, and he copied the Decimate, just like Gideon theorized in the drafting stage.
Yep, and here's one weakness that a Jawhead has. He has no way to easily get out.
Yeah.
A lot of sustainable XP laners, well, sustainable is already an accepted part, an expected part of being an XP lane, has that in their kit, but no, D7 survives!
He goes for the flicker out of the hands of Lucian Cutie. The fight is going to be split into two, but the main thing is Bray went for ATM. ATM ran away with just a sliver of health, while Bray finds himself down on the ground, final nail in the coffin.
Well done, Jimma. You were probably... You thought that ATM would die, but because of the fact that the deadly catch was there, the knockup was more than enough to kind of slow down the pace of both the Martis and the Jawhead. Two heroes that can immediately eliminate one hero, but because of the deadly catch to counter, they slow down the pace. They were able to get the turtle out retreating this Bray Martis and then win the battle afterwards.
Well, it does seem as though D7 went for a single man pickup onto Lucian Cutie with the fatal links, and Donut finds himself with the weakness drop onto Roy. Roy doesn't really have a lot of help to work with, but Bray moves onto the backline with the Decimate down onto Donut and connects from Roy onto Seacat.
And that's an engagement that Burning Flash thought initially they won, but so far, it looks like there was more space for them to move around closer to mid. And of course, the capitalization from RSG. The past 2 to 3 minutes, I'm guessing RSG is at home here. Yeah. Despite the early kills on Diablo, and of course Bray having a tough time being one of the main frontliners. This off by Lucian Cutie!
Right underneath the turret, and Roy comes in from behind. Gets the Astral Spear sniped onto Chamba, but it's not quite enough to bring him down, unfortunately.
Alright, so this confirms some of our suspicions that early on in this game, yeah, that Bane in Chama's hand
little
will
mommy
still play very sustained. Now ATM very low!
Oh, unstoppable force onto ATM. This is probably the third time that ATM!
Oh!
Speak of the devil, I thought it would be the third time that he runs away, barely breathing. But D7 continues to move on forward with the fatal links that connected onto Roy. And Roy, do you even have the time? Will you be able to run away? But no, not able to do so. Seacat joins himself in and brings him down. OT came in a tad bit too late and wasn't able to capitalize that three-man group up.
Buying time for this next turtle take. It looks like RSG understands that they're also playing on a timer.
100%. I really like that play from Oki. It's really underrated because what he did was to clear the wave. In fact, focus on the lanes so that they can defend their bottom lane turret.
Oh, the bloody hunt down on the Seacat. Diablo as well. Lucian Cutie is just going to be appearing right behind on the main line of Burnex Flash. But Atlas comes in. He will be able to get a kill down onto the Jawhead. ATM finishes off Diablo and finishes off onto Bray. As such, no retribution. This is the second time that Bray did not manage to get much from Turtle.
Oh, here is me thinking that ATM would not have a good time in this game as the Expedite favorite, but my oh my, he survived once again, was able to pop the ultimate after the fact that they already received so much damage coming out from RSG. Then they win the turtle fight once again. It was ATM just landing the perfect usage of the taunt so that they will catch 2 people, and then of course Chima will be the one to deal up damage.
Lucian Cutie face checks into the brush where Chima is, but at least it's gonna be A-OK. He's not dead just yet.
Alright, it looks like RSGSG's comfort earlier in the aggression in the trading was going for them, but wait, D7!
It doesn't seem like the Fiddling did much onto Diablo, but the entire team of Burnex Flash pushed themselves on forward in order to secure the second tier.
Was that an unstoppable force dodge?
Yes. Yes,
That
it was
great.
It was a pushback.
Pixel perfect.
So yeah, this shows that Diablo has been using this. This shows that Diablo knows the extent of the kit that one Jawhead has. And as I was saying, right, this false sense of comfort that RSG was allowed to have, given by Burnix Flash, is now going to hurt more as we go into the mid-game spike. Because yes, you are getting hooks. Yes, you are missing out on these massive fatal links, but re-engage potential is huge on Burnix Flash right now.
100%. Really liking how both teams are playing. In fact, it's like an RSG SG almost losing the entirety of the early game but recovers. But now the recovery was back in the hands of Burnix Flash, now being aggressive. This is the Cambodian aggression we were talking about. It was also 9 minutes in the previous game, so maybe now this is the timer for Burnix Flash.
Something I'm wondering is Bray slowly getting overloaded because, again, it's odd to say that as a Martis, you're one of the first to face check, you're one of the first to actually front line. Don't you want to be a finisher too? Because, again, Diablo's having a hard time as well.
Well, unfortunately, that is the draft decision coming out from RSG. They went in for a killer type of XP laner, which kind of means that all of the vision that you need, all of the presence or the front line will now come from the jungle. Surely they have the Novaria for extra vision, but nobody can check the bush all the time except the Martis.
And now with this power spike, again, that 9-minute timer shows that Burnix Flash are making moves on the map, and RSG Slate SG forced to respond.
Bray has been spotted out, but a mortal call gets himself running away. Burnix Flash now have got a priority over the Lord, and I'm pretty sure the RSG will not challenge this.
Akun Bong says Burnix Flash is as free as it gets. Lord scored by them. Again, it's shades of game 1.
With the fatal link down and connect on the Lucian Cutie. Lucian Cutie expends the flicker and gets himself out of the hands of Burnix Flash.
That was interesting. I could have sworn Lucian was gonna die.
Yeah. But then again, this is still a massive win.
Whoa.
See that? Oh, that's massive. They know where Diablo is. They can smell him.
They know! As Diablo immediately tossed ATM backwards. 4-man poker game. Down at the bottom, all in.
Oh, and D7 survive also. Does have the immortality, and now it's going to be safe. And again, another good macro play coming up from Burnix Flash at 9 minutes. Once again, just like in the previous game, they were able to get the first Lord by utilizing D7's presence. Just the perfect match in the second skill. Is enough, the first skill, I mean, is enough to fend off Bray, especially because the rest of the gang will not be prepared for the defense of the Lord.
Oh, yikes. One good thing is at least RSG are getting their resources. There's waves coming in, there's XP, there's gold. But at what point can we see this actually swinging closer to equal, right? This gold lead shrinking. It's at 6K right now, and they're gonna go for the top lane push.
Good hook coming in from Lucian Cutie in order to bring Burnix Flash into and within their walls. But it doesn't seem like he will be able to do quite much right now. As Lucian Cutie is going to be taken up at the front line. Bray as well as the whole lineup of RSG moves on forward. Burnix Flash with 2 casualties.
Oh, there's the answer. The simplest way to go from point A to B is a straight line. Defend inside your base, have the strength of your artillery, meaning your inhibitor turrets, and punish.
Yeah, it's really just telegraphed coming out from RSG SG, and you can see that Burnix was definitely overstaying their welcome at the base. Look at the defense. Look at how good the Bloody Hunt is. The
whip kill is so fast coming in from Burnix Flash. That's a 4-man rush down in the mid, and Shama just needs to throw out the baby chucks.
Yep, and they understand that they flubbed that push. They understand that that siege could have gone so much better. So now, this is again recovery mode. The first time in a while that RSGSG are on the offensive. They've left their base, and they're making plays on the upper quarter.
Okay, so now it is RSG's late. Definitely survived the first part of the rotation.
Sure about this. Oh, never mind. Amount of damage is actually amazing from RSG. But ATM, they even have to use the conceal in order to get that movement speed. Oki is now in safe territory. He's around Lucian Cutie. He's around Bray as well. Unfortunately, Diablo, I cannot say the same for him.
1-man fatal links. That is just vengeance. That is just punitive justice.
Yeah, 100%. And the fact that they traded for X-Plane, honestly, Burnix Flash are really very happy with that trade. Even when they lose, when they have lost their turret up top, the fact that they are not getting punished is going to be good for their lineup that snowballs now. But my oh my, Donut. You gotta be careful with your positioning.
Yeah, no, Roy is slowly coming online at about 13 minutes in with this Luminous Lord spawning. That gold lead shrunk by about a third, now sitting about 3.5K, closer to 4K. This is as close to 50-50 as it gets for a Lord this game too.
Not too sure about this Lost Dance, but it seems as though Lucian Cutie is just going to be starting things off with a hook down onto ATM. Burnex Flash threw everything out, or rather, they got themselves out of hiding. RSG knew that that will happen.
Shama with the pull, but the majority of Burnex Flash members are very low, and there's Lucian Cutie with a bite!
And it doesn't seem like take that back! Every single one of the members for RSG and Burnex Flash, they are going all in! Wobble combo, Ooga Booga, Donut is not good! And Donut's just gonna be struck down! 4-man from the side of Burnex Flash, taken down while Oki, the only fatality.
Donut Airlines failed to take off, and RSGSG capitalized. That's a lord over to the Singaporeans, and Burnex Flash suffers 4 deaths.
Lucian Cutie with a wonderful snag, and even after the knockup coming up from the Lord, it was a great setup for the Fatal X, but they didn't have damage because you can see that Oki was intact with the Fatal X, so he was able to still output the damage. Burnex Flash suffered to the Nibiru's passion, and afterwards they wanted to die onto Donut, but Roy was there to stop Donut from flying, and we are going to see it in the instant replay once again.
And it started with the bite. It started with the bite, and they tried to go for the clap back, right? Oki was just so well placed. Donut was late 2 seconds.
Yep.
That's why he couldn't take to the skies.
Exactly, and Roy on point with that Astro Spear. And now, maybe Donut will eventually think about maybe getting something like a Rose Gold Meteor, in fact, so that at least he will survive the first burst coming from RSG.
Yeah, got a pair of pants.
Get a pair of pants.
That's not, the Legion Sword is not
yet
a Rose Gold Meteor item element.
So that might be one of the considerations now for Burnex Flash. And big props to Oki on actually that fight. Had it not been for Donut having the Wind of Nature, it would have been perfect for RSG. He still managed to win the fight for the team though.
As now D7 goes over to the back line, they managed to catch Oki! And that is win condition from RSG taken away. RSG knew that they can't exactly take this fight, but Diablo is still sticking around somewhere. D7 has scouted out on the Diablo. They're making a full-on retreat. Where's the damage from RSG? Can they even stay on for this fight?
Oh, but look at this, the angle from Lucian Cutie. Coming in with the fight!
Flicker! As well, the bloody hunt! Roy takes a kill down on the zone with a Decimate, but Roy coming in from the side, he immediately wants to throw off with the Astral Spear. He comes in from the C-Cat, not the ATM, not the right person that he wants, but at least both sides, they have tallied out the fight. Oki's coming back, but Donut not quite yet. The Flicker, or rather Diablo, is just immediately jumping right in, and they manage to catch one. C-Cat continues to stay in the team fight. Shaman just pushing everyone out. C-Cat with only a sliver. He doesn't
Hi, Pearl Pearls.
I'm pretty sure
Hi, Mama Pearls.
It just flashed back
Hi,
before his
Guaps.
very eyes. Same for C-Cat, but luckily
What's up,
he
George?
had an immortality. This all started
Yolanda,
with
you
a
still watching?
conceal into
You like
a
Mobile
bloody
Legends,
hunt
Yolanda?
play from Lucian
Thank you for the
Cutie.
support, Yolanda.
He bit down on Donut.
I'm gonna
Perfect
come see you
target.
later, okay,
That's
Yo-Yo?
visual right there.
Are you still working out? You doing your
even after the fight
your
that
vegan
you saw
diet?
that they lost the Diablo
I want you to
afterwards,
make me some
but they
cucumber
actually popped important immortalities. For
and
example,
kiwi,
popping out on Sika,
mango.
doesn't have his own immortality as
Tess,
well.
is that- I forgot who's
exactly. And this means that, theoretically speaking, RSG, SG, they will have more resources.
Hi, Pearl Pearls. I
heading
forgot
into
who
the
Tess
next
is.
Lord.
Oh, Maria.
I think that's
Hey,
safe
Maria.
to say. Here in Cambodia, they drive on the right side of the street. This time around, how about you flip that around, because it's the Singaporeans now who are in the driver's seat. They're about 1,000 gold ahead. They have vision, and they're first to the scene, and now ATM!
They can actually melt him down!
They popped him!
Oki's damaged though!
And literally, you can see Lucian just literally checking the bushes with the iron hook. And
Hi,
then
Maria.
He found the fruit. And that fruit was ATM.
Hi, my dear friend.
That's just the cute one, just doing his job.
Oh, for
so
sure.
far. Thank you for your service. He's sitting at 0, 2, and 12. If in game 1 we won off the back of these 7s, Franco, maybe RSG can get this!
And Fatal Links is just gonna be connected down, but unfortunately they will lose the opportunity to challenge the Lord. But right now, Lucian Cutie, he drives every single one of the members from the side, but next flies away
Whoa,
as Diablo
what a toss.
throws him away! And Oki takes the kill down onto Donut. Bray leading the charge with Oki onto the artillery. Roy is behind as well. They are shoving the entirety of Burnex Flash away.
The cute and handsome connection.
Handsome connection.
Did you see that?
Diablo with the injection to defend his teammate, and that actually put Donut in a very bad spot. He was, not only did he save his teammate, he got a kill for the team.
My god, the handsome devil! The kind of utility there you can find from a Jawhead, but perhaps we'll be able to see a little bit more as Lucian Cutie drops off with the bloody hunt on the D7. D7 goes behind!
Hey,
The three-man Fatal Links expended the immortality coming from the side of Bray and Lucian Cutie. CCAT continues on through with a double decimate. He puts himself down with the Winter Drunken. It's gonna be his A-OK. But Burnex Flash, they lost 3 inhibitor turrets, but at least they survived this game.
Bye! That's 3 in Kamai! He got triple kill, and now there's another fight!
They want to continue on to this fight. Diablo joins into the fray, tossed ATM away, but D7 wasn't able to continue from this fray.
Alright, it's interesting how RSG is so pick and fight, despite just there being 2 left.
Hey,
Oh, the 5-man push! This could be it!
A 5-man push right down. D7 wants to proxy in between and will want to stop Roy as well as Double from doing anything at all. The deadly cap pushes right on and Donut hammer down on the crystal.
And in a flash, Burn X Flash take us to match point.
Momentum is not on their side for sure. They've just lost the donut, their main win condition. But the local player, D7 says, I won't rely on an import to win this match for myself. I'm gonna take it. 3-man Fatal Links on the most important one, taking out OP first. And they won it.
And it's an absolutely spectacular game.
It's spectacular.
I still can't believe what I saw. That CCAT jumping on the 3. Decimate.
That's big. And the amount of time for RSG to even recover from that, there just wasn't any.
Okay, maybe it's the fact that RSG didn't need to recover, made them think they can win more, and overstayed in mid.
They have the advantage. The main win condition, the 1-1 wasn't there.
That's right, it should have been the green light.
That was definitely green light, but they definitely doubted the fact that the Valentina with the Decimate is actually pretty deadly. Typically, you want to go for a steal on a big ultimates, right?
Bloody Hunt
whatsoever,
yes.
But Decimate, who would have thought that it is enough? By the way, you convert to magical damage anyways, so you are definitely deadly.
Gideon, what do you think?
I think this is one of the big trivia questions everybody's been asking, with a single question being posed by RSG. The answer back from Burn X Flash, and every single time you see a cool play from one of these roles, the opposing team will do exactly the same. You thought Roy was a problem? CCAT's the problem. When you think, okay, he's gonna make it out of there, then you see 1-1 push back. It's a beautiful day for Mobile Legends.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, Burn X Flash at match point, you can see the look on the Q1's face. They played out of their minds, but it's a very, very small margin of error here. So small.
And you know, you can argue about like all of the theories that we have when it comes to the macro, when it comes to the gameplay, but in the end, it was just one Fatal Links connecting and the chain of Decimate that happened. So there was a lot of like good stuff that both teams did. That's very smart plays, especially with both of their conceals. But in the end, it was, you know, just having overload of the Fatal Links, it will be enough.
Let's look at our MVP here. It's going to be CCAT. What a game, a saving play right at the end. When you think that it all was about to crumble, CCAT is able to bring them back from the brink, and finally he's able to get something going for him. I've been waiting for CCAT to make a play like this for so long, but notice even his items, making sure that he has that Guardian's helmet. He does not want to get one shot.
Not just, he also wants to keep up the engagement. He will steal an ult, get in there, take 2 or 3 seconds off, and then fight again. That's what we saw from CCAT.
It's like an endless rotation that you want to see from CCAT. Go in, come out, wait for a while, go back in with the same rotation.
Well, I hate to use a word that I already used in the previous game. It was fluid. So macro-wise, they were fluid in game number 1, but this time you saw CCAT, the rhythm was just so good. And this is also one of the great plays. He gets a double kill afterwards, right? Waited for the right moment, and then there will be another play that he will again copy the Decimate, which was perfect. This was that play. They got him again, continuously just being unstoppable in this game. You would think that the damage output will come from the 1-1. Well, guess what? It is coming from the Valentina. And I like the fact that we saw this in-game because it's perfect. Gideon actually mentioned this before the draft, right? And now we see it. Now you know why Valentina can actually copy the Marty's ultimate.
It's so good. It's so very good. But she's good in all situations. Even in that previous highlight, we saw her take the unstoppable force, something that Diablo has honestly shown real great prowess on. But look at these beautiful plays. Like D7 is coming in so huge in a lot of these moments. And the one that made it all happen in the finisher CCAT to eventually put him down to match point. Look at that. Oh, and they follow it up. Beautiful plays all across the board from both teams.
I can even see that D7 tried to isolate the Diablo, but it wasn't needed in the end anyways. No wave clear. That's the maybe that's what we can say is the problem for the Navaria. The wave clear isn't as good as something like a Farsa or maybe an Eve. But I would say Roy played so well this game. You could have sworn that he might be even the MVP if RSG won this game.
Honestly, there were a lot of flash of brilliances.
I agree.
Coming in from Burnex Flash and RSG. They all split together, split up really darn well. We've got, I mean, there's just so many highlights that this game itself is something that we should steer people into watching.
If you showed me a screenshot from about 17, 18 minutes, I would have said this was all RSG. We're going to 1-1, especially with the way the cute one has been performing. He was coming in, conceal, fligger, bite down on Donut. It's the perfect target, right? But I'm wondering where it all broke down. I'm wondering where it came up short and that allowed our Burnex Flash to catch RSG off guard. Was it all in just that one moment in mid? Was it all in just CCAT seeing all of these low HPs and like, I'm gonna hold on to Decimate until the time is right? Was that all?
Honestly speaking, I would truly believe that was the case because every single time we saw tempo being taken away from a team, an instant response was coming on the opposite side. It's not like RSG wasn't put in the exact situation. Oki fell first, but yet they decided, you know what? We're gonna bite down on this Beatrix and turn it around. And that was the big setup for that final moment.
And it's also because of the fact that everybody's just trying to outplay each other. Like, it was I would say it was a tug of war, right? It was perfect. Like, everybody's just trying to pull away. And then, unfortunately, RSG, they let go of the rope in the last moment just because Burnex Flash found the right timing to pull and tug that rope.
It kind of seems as though Burnex Flash is exhibiting RSG's a false sense of comfort. Atlas was just not that comfortable running backwards, and the sudden flicker plus the Fatal Links is exhibiting RSG's a false sense of comfort. Atlas was just not that comfortable running backwards, and the sudden flicker plus the Fatal Links
to solve the macro,
details that we saw for like Jawhead able to, you know, throw the perfect match away just so that your entire team doesn't get hit. The unstoppable force to stop the Fatal Links at the very least. That was so cool to see.
Or even the unstoppable force fake out, right? To disengage.
It's great. It's great to see all of these plays coming together all in one place. But at the end of the day, this is going to be match point. It's 0-2.
That's brutal.
We're into match point now.
I hate to be abstract in this table. Sorry to bring it up, but man, being in the point where you are kind of projected to win this.
Yes.
RSG made a lot of fans. Burnex Flash, 100% sure this is not the Burnex Flash we saw in the group stages. Maybe some hits, for sure. But the aggression coming out from the Cambodians this time is more fluid and more calculated. And I think that they will reach greater heights because of the way that they are playing this. If they do advance to the next stage and play like this, man, they have a straight-up chance.
All right, Abstract, I hate to put you on the spot here, but even in MPLSG Season 5 playoffs, right? RSG have never been pushed this hard.
No,
What's going on? What could be churning? What would Coach Kuja be saying right now?
To be honest, right now, what they had before, Cindy Lucas worked a lot onto the kind of like the drafts. They focus a lot onto those fundamentals that Cindy Lucas put on. But Kuja comes in with a completely different tactic. He works more on the macro game. So RSG may be pretty much having a lot of problems in the battlefield within of the Land of Dawn. I think Kuja may be able to find some answers to what Burnex Flash has been doing after losing twice in a row and just nail it in the coffin.
Here's the thing, there's a very fine line with macro play overall, and more importantly, how to kind of turn that into raw aggression. There were a couple of moments that we could have probably seen RSG turn the tides and look for that momentum, because again, a lot of these off-tempo plays coming in from Burnex Flash really came down to who was the pick, what resources are available, and even when RSG, they're looking for that big green flag, they need to start bobbing and weaving, finding that fine balance between how do I cut you right at the tendons and not just simply throwing my knives.
It's gonna be, that's difficult equally, but if you think about it this way, maybe this could be the approach from RSG. We almost won that game. We just have to fix our positioning and maybe just, fix what, just don't get hit by the Atlas, which is not that easy. But I think you understand here for RSG. What if, instead of taking that as a loss, maybe just look at it this way that they just made a mistake and fix that, they can win in the next 3 games.
So would you suggest that they stick to the same kind of game plan / the same kind of composition? I mean, I personally love the Jawhead, but I would love to see more the build picks coming in from Diablo.
Okay, I'd like to just reel that back in and say, solve the macro.
Solve the macro.
Solve the macro, because again, that's what Burnex Flash is presenting. You can't just, you can't beat fire with fire, you can't beat fire with fire with this case, especially when the fire is as harsh and as powerful as Burnex Flash is right now, especially in Cambodia. So I'd say solve that first on a fundamental level.
Yep.
And then we go ham, right? Just to build on, bobbin and weaving, moves and grooves. A good friend of ours would say.
Oh, well, I missed that guy.
I missed that guy too. But with that being said, here currently match point for Burnex Flash. It's looking great for the Cambodian Warriors as RSG is going to be back to their analyzing. So in the meantime, let's throw it over to both Rebby as well as Mara back on the big screen. What are they doing? What you up to?
Ravi and I are here with Ripple and Mirko. So just in case you guys don't know, he was part of RSG Malaysia and silver medalist for the recently concluded SEA Games 2023. How are you doing?
I'm doing good right now. I am very excited because I got to go here and watch this match against RSG versus Burnex Flash. Yeah.
Are you close with the players?
Yeah. Some of the Diablo, only Diablo and Lucian.
I thought you almost forgot their name.
How close it is? How close it is?
Not that close, but a little bit knowing each other lah.
Okay, I see. So that's why I wonder why you are here.
Yeah, were you there earlier with them? Did you get to spend a little bit of time with them?
No, just meet up with Diablo. I hoping he using his badang, but already
it got banned, bro.
Yeah, 2 games. Woo.
អូខេឥឡូវនេះយើងឃើញថា Repo បានមកនៅកន្លែងនេះឈរនៅកន្លែងនេះគឺមិនមែន support team Cambodia ទេប៉ុន្តែ support team Singapore ហើយគាត់ពិតជាមាន relation close ជាមួយមិន close ណាទេប៉ុន្តែ close ជាមួយនឹងខាង Singapore អញ្ចឹងគាត់នឹងខ្លាចទៅជា fan របស់ Singapore ទោះបីជាដឹងថាតើឥឡូវនេះ result ទៅជាបែបណាក៏ដោយ
Okay, now we know why Repo is here because he's part of RSG. Mirko actually stood up and wanted to support him. Okay, I thought you're a different team. What's up?
But I support a certain team in Indonesia. It's called Bigatron, and this man right here, he comes from Bigatron. So anywhere they go, I follow. Yes.
Thank you very brotherhood.
Much. Okay, you know what? Looking at that game number 2, I really thought that RSG had it. What happened? What's going on? What do you think happened?
I don't know, maybe because they less of the discipline, so that's why their MM got caught with the Atlas. So for me, the first one is very cold, and then the second game they got heated, and then